Hi everyone, Velvet here, and I have some stories for you today. But before we get started, can you please do me a huge favor and like, comment, and subscribe? It'll help the channel out and it'll get you more videos like this. Let's get to it. And our first one is from Emotional Year 1372. Am I the beehole for separating my finances from my husband because he won't quit giving his parents money? Me and my husband have been together for over 9 years, and separating our finances never occurred to me until this past year. I'm a saver and he's the spender. Oh, I am the saver. In the beginning, it didn't bother me because we had two incomes and we weren't rich, but lived comfortably. His family has always borrowed money from us, but rarely has ever paid that money back. Personally, I don't lend money, not even to family, but I do not stop him from lending his. Yeah, I get that policy, OP. There's only like one person I know who I would lend money to because I know they pay it back. And sometimes they pay it back with an extra couple dollars on top of it, which is nice to get a little bit of money back. A few years ago, my husband was in a bad car wreck and could no longer work, so I became the sole breadwinner. He now gets disability, but it was a 4-year process. In that time, we dwindled our savings to nothing and came close to losing everything. Our debt mounted, and there was nothing I could do. When he received his back pay, I only asked him to pay off his vehicle, a loan which I paid over 50 grand on in the last few years, and put some in savings. Seems pretty reasonable. He did neither. Oh, what a jerk. Instead, he blew the money, loaning over 10 grand to his family and paying nothing towards the debt we created. OP, I know you've been married for like 9 years, but I would end it. Money is one of those things that, causes divorce, and I hate wasting money and I hate being in debt, and I don't want someone who has no problems doing that, tied to me. But back to the story. During this time, I was able to save some money from my paycheck, but not much, and had plans to pay some debts off once I've saved enough. He knew I was saving to do this. About a month ago, I noticed over $700 missing out of our savings, and I asked him what happened. He replied with, "I loaned it to my parents." I asked when he was going to receive it back because that money was already spent and I needed it. He said, "I don't know when they can afford to." I blew up and lost my shite. He didn't ask me. We didn't speak about it. He did it behind my back because he knew it would piss me off, and I would say no if he asked. We had a huge fight. I figured that he would stop, but no. Yesterday, I had checked my account, and there was another $1,000 was gone. Oh my god, OP, I would strangle this man if I were you. Nobody spends my money without asking me. Gone. Where you ask, he gave it to his parents. I am so mad I saw red. I flat out told him that as of today, I am done with his parents. I'll pay half of the household bills, buy our food, and that's it. If he wants to lend all his disability to them, fine, but I'm not going to bust my arse for 6 hours a week so he can keep giving our money away. So, am I the beehole for going to the bank, withdrawing all the money I put in there, opening a new account he does not have access to? He seems to think I am, and says I should do what makes his parents happy. I would like to see them happy. I just don't want to pay for that happiness. OP, you were 100% not in the wrong. He knew what he was doing was wrong. That's why he didn't tell you and went behind your back to spend your money on his parents. His parents that seem to be freaking goobers who have no problem, I'd be ashamed constantly borrowing from my kids, you know what I mean? Taking the money and not paying it back. I hate not paying back money too. That constantly weighs on my conscience. Is why I try not to borrow money. So, no, OP, this is a problem that keeps happening, and he sounds like he doesn't give a crap about you or your guys' well-being, and has no problem, putting you guys into debt, screwing you guys over for his family. So I believe you did the right thing in taking away your money from him and only paying what you need to pay because he can't be trusted. He went behind your back 2 times already, taking out large sums of cash, and I don't know what he expected you to do. Be okay with him wasting money like that when you guys are in debt and need to get your shite together, you know what I mean? OP, I know people on Reddit suggest divorce a lot, but I would suggest divorce because it doesn't sound like he's going to change his ways, and he sounds like he's hell-bent on dragging you down with him. OP, not the beehole. Think about it, because that would piss me off to no end, wasting money like that. And our second one comes from prestigious Ask 7828. Am I the beehole for requesting my son and nephew be placed in separate classrooms the next grade? My son and my nephew are both 6 years old, and were placed in the same class at the start of this year. My sister has loved it for my nephew. He's autistic and has a lot of trouble socializing with overstimulation. He's known to have meltdowns in class, and there were times where my son was asked to stay with him while the class was evacuated. Oh, was it that bad? Holy crap. I had to step in and speak to the teacher as well as the principal about this. My son was terrified. They were seat friends all year, and they're the only two kids who never got new seat friends. The teacher kept them together because she was worried my nephew would be bullied by the other kids. Oh, that's messed up to your son. He doesn't get to socialize and have friends because his nephew's there? How effed up is that? I mean, because your nephew's there? But it was hard for my son. He's very shy and introverted, and sometimes my nephew getting upset would upset him. My son was also used to supplying my nephew with pencils and other tools when my nephew would break them. My sister was so happy that they were together. My son was miserable, and I hated seeing him that way. My sister went to the school a month ago and requested that they keep them together the next grade. Wow, she's over here just making decisions for your child. Ooh. She mentioned it in passing during a family barbecue. I asked her why she did this, and she told me it's working great for my nephew. I told her it wasn't working out great for my son. While I love my nephew, I don't want my son to feel like he always has to be responsible for his cousin. She told me that I should think of the greater good and encourage them to stay together. Yeah, it's easy to think of the greater good when it benefits you. I went to the school afterward and requested the boys be placed in separate classrooms the next grade. I told them my son did not deserve to have his education interrupted in order to help my nephew. I made it clear I was not okay with them keeping them together. I also brought it up again that I had not liked how they handled things over the last year. The school agreed to separate them. We got notified of the classrooms and the teachers last week. My sister was furious when she realized they were separated. She asked how I could do that to my nephew. I should think of the impact that will have on him. How about you think of the impact it's going to have on your nephew and, your son? What you're doing to him, how you're screwing him over. But back to the story. I told her I love my nephew, always have, but I need to look out for my son. Good for you, good parent. She told me it will never be as bad for my son as it'll be for my nephew, and we could have figured out a way to make it work for both boys. Am I the beehole? I love how now she wants to find a way to make it work for both boys when she can't, control you and your son to do what she wants. OP, not the beehole. You're being a good parent. You need to watch out for your child, and he needs to be able to grow and socialize and get his education just like anybody else. She needs to figure out what she needs to do to help her son succeed and not bring other people's children into it to watch out for her kid. So no, OP, you are not the beehole. You are a good parent doing good parent things. And our final one comes from Trick Composer 1062. Am I the beehole for not changing my name for my mom after she spent the last 18 years hating it? So, when my parents were expecting me, my mom decided to name me Catherine Elizabeth. My mom felt strongly about the name Catherine, and Elizabeth was a family name on both sides, so it was kind of a compromise name. Neither loved it, but my mom didn't like any of my dad's choices for middle names, and my dad didn't like Catherine, and my mom saying no to the middle name, they decided to use a mutual family name. During my birth, my mom suffered many complications. She was rushed for an emergency C-section and ended up needing multiple blood transfusions and was out of it for a couple weeks. During that time, Dad decided he was going to name me what he wanted, since my mom cut him out of choosing my first name, and I ended up with a name that my dad loved, but my mom hated it. She had no say in the name. By the time she was healthy enough, they were told that they would need to pay to change it. My mom was bitter. My parents are still married, but never recovered from it, and I would 100% get it. My mom was betrayed and is angry that he went against what she wanted while she was at her lowest point. The thing is, in all of this, I love my first name. I got the middle name Elizabeth still. I don't care for it either way. But I love my first name, even though my mom hates it. She always wanted me to be Catherine, and after I turned 18 a few weeks ago, she asked me to let me pay for my name change. She said that she regrets not doing it when I was a baby. Why didn't she do it when you were a baby? Wouldn't it be cheaper? I don't know. But she admitted that my name makes her so angry and brings up the betrayal in front of her memory. So she would love for me to have the name she chose now. But I hate Catherine. I don't want to be Catherine. This really upset my mom. She thinks my name is dumb. It's a unique and not a common US name, and I admit it's not for everyone, but it's for me. I'm glad I ended up with my name over Catherine. But I know my mom is struggling with that realization. She really thought I would want to be Catherine when I turned 18 and would be glad to do it with her offer to pay. And she told me how disappointed she was and asked me if I would consider it for her. I told her if I did it, it would make me unhappy. She got kinda mad at me and implied she felt betrayed all over again. Am I the beehole? Okay, first things first, it's not what she wants, it's what you want. What you want. It's your name. You like your name, keep your name. I feel exactly the same. I was almost going to be the third, but my mother said no and named me what I am now, and I love my name. It's a common name. It's a name that I've had multiple people with the same name in the classroom, but I love my name and I don't want to become the third of my father. So I completely get where you're coming from. This sounds like a problem. Your mom has a problem with your dad that she needs to take up with your father, and not you. It's not your fault that you were named that, and you shouldn't be forced to change your name even though she offered. OP, not the beehole. This fight is between your parents, not you. Again, not the beehole, and keep your name. If you like your name, keep your name. Thank you for making it to the end of the video with me. And can you please do what I said in the beginning? And like, comment, and subscribe. It really and truly does help the channel out. It helps it grow, and it helps you get more videos like this. Velvet out.